This afternoon, Donald Trump announced that at long last, he has finally caved. Let's watch.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government. As everyone knows, I have a very powerful alternative, but I didn't want to use it at this time. Hopefully it will be unnecessary.
So he's very proud. I mean, it's over. He only had one demand, so I have to imagine he got it right. He got the wall. No, he didn't get the wall. He has said that we're going to have 3 weeks. I think it's already passed the Senate. So the government is going to be reopened. The shutdown is now over on day 35, I think, without him getting the wall. Now, we're going to have some more videos, obviously breaking down a few different aspects of that. He's not like, don't think that just because the shutdown's done and he didn't get the wall yet, he's not going to continue to lie about it in an attempt to get it. So we're going to have a little bit of that. But initial reactions to finally the longest ever government shutdown ending.
I actually have a question before we move on to commentary. Did Trump get any funding for a smart wall? Was there any funding for a smart wall? No? Oh, okay. So,
although that is a possibility.
So no, there's no physical barrier. And
I would like to also pose a counter question.
Go ahead.
Is the shutdown actually over? Well, no, it's still. I'll answer my own question.
Well, it will. This shutdown is done.
For a while.
The shutdown is dead. Long live the shutdown. So we have 3 weeks, and then we'll probably have another shutdown, maybe.
Right.
Or maybe not. After all, we've been through this experience. Donald Trump learns lessons at the slowest pace that anybody in American history ever has, but even he must have learned something from 35 days of this.
So in reality, we have no deal at all. All we have is a deal, as usual with Congress, to punt, to postpone it for 3 weeks. I mean, there is no contours of a deal that I know of that, hey, we're gonna get a wall, we're not gonna get a wall, there is funding for a wall, there isn't, it's a dumb wall, it's a smart wall, it's a visible wall.
So they've put together, like they have a conference committee that's supposed to take care of some of the details of this, and I don't recall the names, but I remember seeing that there were no extreme right-wing hardliners on immigration. I mean, there's the standard sort of hardliners on the right on immigration, but it looks like it is being set up in a way that will probably not err in the direction that Donald Trump would like.
Okay. And it's Democrats, it's Republicans. The idea is it's a bipartisan committee and that he'll listen to them, or at least that's what he said he will do. Now, actually him doing that, that's kind of like a further jump away from his reality. I think what happened was, the situation at LaGuardia Airport in New York was a little too close to Giuliani. And Giuliani's like, I want to go there. I want to go because LaGuardia is tough to fly in and out of anyway. And sort of the best of situations. And when federal workers who are doing that air traffic controlling are not getting paid and they're upset and they're stressed and they want to pay bills and stuff happens as it did this morning. I think that somewhere along the line, Trump's from New York, airports in New York. Like I think this went past Mexico and the wall, and for a minute he stood back and kind of listened to that element of what was going on and said, "All right, we don't actually have a deal, but I'm going to take credit for it. I'm going to say that I'm proud of the not deal that didn't go in my favor, and I think it is a punt at this point. Now, hopefully, in those 3 weeks, there will be enough conversation, and someone will sort of beat him up a little bit, or he'll come very slowly to the realization that we need to have a functioning government, and like you need to pay people in it to have it. And we'll go past that. But
so I agree with you that LaGuardia might have been the straw that broke the camel's back, but things are starting to devolve, and that was just a symbol of that devolution. Now we come to, by the way, one last quick side note on that issue. We might have actually stopped more terrorists from coming into the country if the planes were not working, because they come in by planes. They don't cross the border. That almost never happens. They usually just fly in. So, but as small as that, we're not gonna stop all planes because of the terrorists, just keeping it real on where real dangers to the country come from. Okay, now onto the fun part. So Anna and I made a $50 bet. That's why she's on the show. And
that's right. I was not supposed to be on the first hour today.
Right.
But I could not resist.
Because she wants to come collect from me because the bet was on whether the Democrats would cave. And that's why I ask, I mean, do we actually have a deal yet? I don't think we do.
Well,
so
the shutdown did end.
The shutdown has ended.
Or is on the cusp of ending.
No, but it didn't, right? Like it has temporarily ended with no deal.
I know, but also under that reasoning and that logic, then you can make the same argument every single time, because the government isn't indefinitely funded after they come up with a deal. There's always a very limited time period, and then they have to pass another spending bill. So in this case, look,
I want to see some spending
there
bills
was some concern, and Cenk did make a good point yesterday that after Clyburn, a Democrat, had suggested $5.7 billion for a so-called smart wall, which would not be a physical barrier, but an improvement in technology like drones and stuff. Well, then he saw that as a concession. And I was worried that Democrats would push forward with that, but they did not. Nancy Pelosi remained strong. Trump's approval rating took a giant hit. It was at 34%. And I think that this is a huge Hail Mary coming from Trump. He knows that he lost on this. And I think that this has been a huge lesson for both Democrats and the Trump administration. Democrats have finally learned that it can really pay off to fight. And I hope that they continue doing so.
Well, at the last second there, it did look like yesterday, right as I was about to pay Anna, that they might have taken failure from the defeat from the jaws of victory, but they didn't. So look, I could be a jerk and keep wait till the 21 days, but I'm not going to. So, and by the way, so I have the money. I have the spending bills. I have the spending bills. Okay.
And it's Friday.
I don't
So,
like the
here you go.
imagery of her dancing while you're waving bills in the air.
No, it's terrible.
It's such a good day in America for
good
so many
feeling.
different reasons.
It is.
I'm very
Okay,
excited.
That was 60, you owe me 10. Okay.
Only give him 10 if it goes back to shutdown.
That's right. We'll wait
Yeah,
for 3
but-
weeks for that.
But I will tell you this, look, it is good enough. That's why part of why I'm paying Anna. Like, I've never seen the Democrats hold for 35 days. Like literally, in the time that I have been covering politics, which is well over 2 decades, right? I've never seen the Democrats hold strong on anything. And so good enough. They did here, they lasted for over a month. And so, look, if the capitulation in 21 days from now is horrific, we can come back and then blame them for it. But that hasn't happened yet. For what's happened so far is they held the wall. So nice job. The TYT Plus app is now available on iOS and Android. Download to get more TYT content at tyt.com/app.